In a way, my ability to get close to the characters in the film goes back to my work on sexual violence, because the people who are addressing minor sex trafficking in Seattle, a lot of them are the same people who've worked on sexual violence issues throughout King County and Seattle. There's just an inherent crossover. And I have over a decade worth of experience with those people. Through my networks with the social services community, I was able to get in touch with Natalie and her family. They vouched for me, they vetted me, they introduced me to her family. Her mom grilled me when I showed up, and you know, they moved out of Seattle, but when I went to visit them, I spent most of that first day on the smoking porch with Natalie's mom as she just took me to task, like just question after question to make sure that my intentions were true. And then Lisa, I met through the law enforcement. They actually arrested her, and then they diverted her to the NGO. And I followed up with her later. You know, I let her know who I was, what I was doing, why I was doing it, asked if it was okay to be there, and if it would be okay to follow up. And that started a several-month relationship, if you will, where she was both high and sober, you know, and I was working with her, following her, and she let me into her life more and more and more, and into her community. Yeah, I think by spending that time with her, that's where the intimacy comes from. She just started to trust me. We had a ground rule, though. She would never take me any place where I'd get my ass beat and my gear stolen. And if she wanted me to leave, I would leave. The camera would go away, and I'd be gone. And that only happened once, when she got out of jail and she wanted to get her hookup with a dealer, and that dealer didn't know me. And another time when she was walking down the street and her heroin dealer drove by, and she was like, you know, gone, because she wanted a fix. So I think when we work, we're focused on the job. You know, as a still photographer, you can move around, you can be in and out. But I think when you're shooting video, you have to be a little more present. And especially when you're doing it as a one-person show, you've got so much to pay attention to, as well as, I mean, I'm not setting any of this up. It was shot as a photojournalist would shoot it. You know, documentary is this vast spectrum from, you know, reenactment to photojournalism. And I stayed over here in the photojournalism, which meant I had to think about where I was going to be, what's going to happen next. So I think that during the filming, you pay attention to doing the work. And then it's afterwards that it catches up with you. And, you know, it would during the night, you know, when I'd download at 3 o'clock in the morning and just kind of review some of the footage and make sure the audio was okay.
And it's like, it doesn't matter how clean I try to get, how many showers I take, how many whatever, it doesn't go away. You know? When I say, you know, I'm scared of being sober, I'm scared of, you know, the reality of things. Heroin makes me forget everything.
I would say when I saw the first rough cut, that kind of messed me up, because I didn't have the work to do. I got to see what I actually had been reporting on, covering. And it's taken me, I mean, I've seen the film many times now, and I will see it quite a few more because I'm kind of showing it around to groups. And it's easier to watch it now. I can kind of tune out. I know I can almost quote people at this point. But yeah, I think that you just need to, you do the work and then you deal with it later. And how you deal with it later is important for us, I think, as journalists, because it can be harmful. And finding healthy coping mechanisms and relying on, you know, friends or partners is important, though they may not always understand what it is. Actually, most of my friends didn't get what I was doing until they saw the film. And then they said, wow. But the thing is that this is so many people's lives. It's just, we insulate ourselves. We just don't know. Yeah, so the Alexia Foundation hired MediaStorm to do a multimedia short, and I think because of all the footage that came in and the intimacy of it, we saw that we had something more than a 10-minute piece. So I think together we were able to make this thing that there's a theatrical cut, which is the stories woven together, and then there's the web version, which is what was submitted to World Press and is what's on Brian's website. Um, I also chose during the distribution process, while Brian was out trying to get it into festivals and such, I was researching grassroots independent film release models and built a website, Facebook pages, attached a movement to it. I think as an industry, a media industry, we need to think beyond just our publishing platform. We need to go to where the people can actually use the stuff to create change. And that's what I'm trying to do right now.